de plátano maduro. Or, in essence, it is a canoe made of ripe plantains with meat on top. This is a Puerto Rican dish and it's a very delicious one. Now, the way I'm going to prepare mine is going to be healthier. I'm going to prepare quicker so I'm more efficient. And I'm going to share with you some ingredients that's going to enhance that flavor. Because that's what my channel is about. It's efficiency, it's about enhancing your senses, and it's about creating delicious meals from all over, all kind of meals, desserts, etc. So go nowhere, let's create. So what do we have? For the plantains, which are going to fry, they had to be sweet and ripe. Plantains, no banana, but plantains. See how it looks? It had those dark marks. I'm going to cook two. And the oil I'm going to use for that is pure vegetable. You can use any type of oil. I traditionally cook with extra virgin olive oil, but I'm not going to use it for this because you have to use a big amount of oil in order to cover the plantain and fry it. As it relates to the ground meat, I have here 1 pound, bought it in the, this is ground beef by the way. I bought at the local butcher. I'm going to put the name of the butcher in my descriptions. Local butchers are perfect. If you don't have one nearby, just go to the store and try to buy the best you can find. I have grated tomatoes. I grated 2.5. They're small. Actually, I grated 3. I have some green onions, olive. I'm going to use raisins in mine, but that's optional. This is just a personal touch. Sweet plantains, I want to add some more sweetness. This is some cilantro, which I actually don't need it, but I like to use it toward the end when I'm cooking my meat because I want to add the earth flavor, the land, the earth smell and flavor. And when I cook this ground meat, I'm going to use extra virgin olive oil. I also have my sofrito. And frankly, a lot of people, and I have a video how to make sofrito, by the way. You freeze it, and what it does is save you a lot of time. So, absent sofrito, use a couple of minced garlic teeth. Some onions, cut in tiny pieces. Enough like to be this size. Maybe some green and red sweet peppers, like the bell pepper and those kind. Just a tiny bit, cut in tiny little squares. And cilantro, which I'm using here for the earthy flavor, but I do have it here. And that should be it, just a little bit, enough like to, when you combine them, it fill up about this cup, this tiny cup container, just very little. See my finger? See the olive? It's a little one. And I have some Feta cheese, which I'm going to use for my creation. Now, traditionally, I would use salt and powder black pepper, but I'm not going to do that today. You can do it yourself if you want to do that, but today I'm not going to use that. What I'm going to use is a rub that I purchased from a Puerto Rican friend of mine. She's a chef, lives in North Carolina. She had this a small business, and this is a fantastic rub. I tried in a rib eye. I have tried in other things. This stuff is so good. that I'm going to use it today. And she's been doing this and perfecting this particular rub for like 20 years. And I can tell you this thing is a game changer when you're cooking some meats. Once again, if you choose salt and pepper, that's fine. Today, I don't cook canoes every day, so I want to make it delicious for me. I'm going to put a link in my description about the rub, and I'm using the original one. She have other different products too, but I'm going to put a description on a link of how you can learn more about the rub. This is going to be delicious. So this is very simple. You just cut the ends. Got it here. And peel it out. That's it. So you cook the plantains. Add the appropriate amount of oil you want to cover it. Otherwise, you will have to watch it and flip it around. Have sufficient oil. If you don't have sufficient oil, at least have enough to cover half. And then when the half is cooked, you just turn it around. I'm going to have my heat medium high, but I'm going to lower it to medium if I want to cook it a little bit slower. So here we have it. I actually ended up cooking 4. I wanted to show you the 3 on the left. This one I cook a medium heat. I cut this one here to show you how it looks inside. It looks nice. And this one I cook slightly lower than medium, just to show you. So you can, if you want it kind of softer, use a riper plantain. I don't like that. I like it to have kind of in between, ripe but not soggy. So I just wanted to show you this part. Medium high, a little bit more nice looking brownish. Medium low, lower time, about maybe 3-4 minutes, maybe less. Turn out like this. So all are perfectly fine. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do a quick prep with my nice looking ground beef. So I'm going to put some olive, some raisins, which is optional, and this nice looking rub. And I'm going to go generous. And you start mixing it up. Now you notice that I didn't add onions and things like that because my sofrito will take care of that. And I'm going to show you how. So mix it up, make sure everything is there. Let me add a little bit more rub. Because I want that rub flavor. I mean, this stuff is delicious. I can smell it right now. Another thing, I'm not adding the salt because the rub have a good amount, the appropriate amount of salt. The way that she prepared this rub is actually perfect. You add your sofrito or the substitute, it doesn't matter. Mix it up. You already have the oil, by the way, as you saw. This stuff smells delicious. add your tomatoes, your grated tomatoes. Now, if you prefer, you can add some canned tomato sauce, but I am about flavor, natural flavor. This was no, I have some paprika here, and I'm going to use smoked paprika. This was not originally in the ingredients. I just decided to add it now. Already smell delicious. Let me add some of my green onions, they're chopped. And this whole process should not take more than 2 minutes because you don't want the sauce to dry. So you add the meat. And what I'm doing here, I'm making sure it doesn't become meatballs or burger. So that's what you see me hitting it with this utensil. I'm using a wooden fork. You can use whatever you want. Now, once again, you don't have to add salt because you already used the rub. Having said that, you can taste your liquid, and if you feel that you need to add salt in addition to what the rub has, feel free and do that. You know, that's up to your taste. Or you can add more rub if you want to. You let it cook. See, I don't want my meat to be dry in my canoe because that's the reason I'm not using that extremely ripe plantain, soft plantains, because I want the meat to bring the flavor, you know, the contrast flavor that when you combine them make this a very delicious meal. And a lot of people cook it differently. At the end of the day, it's going to be the sweet plantains and the meat. Some people use corned beef. I don't because corned beef kind of salty and it's in a can. I like to use natural stuff as much as possible. The butcher I go, they have very nice beef from local people that raise cattle. I could have used lamb if I wanted to. Whatever meat you want. See how nice and it's looking? Because I want my stuff to look like, you know, nice and saucy and above all to taste good and as natural as possible. And you all have seen me in my videos. I don't exercise, I don't work out, it's a pandemic. Hey, if I might say, I do look pretty damn good. You look at my body. And considering all the kind of food I cook and eat, and I eat a lot of international food. I eat Puerto Rican, of course, because I'm teaching you guys. And yet, I do look good, and this is not a gym stuff because I have gained weight in the past. It is about adapting the way that you cook. And if you like the way I'm teaching you, my techniques of how to enhance these senses when you're cooking and how to make it healthier or healthy as possible, you can subscribe. And if you don't subscribe, come watch my videos, give me a like, comments, whatever. I answer every comment. Because I'm here to learn too. I might learn something from you. See, the way the heat is transferring here is perfect. And this is almost done, by the way. So I'm going to lower the heat to low. This doesn't take a long time. You just do what you have to do. So I added the cilantro, and I just did that. Now, two things. If your meat gets too dry, put a tiny bit of water if you want to. And the second thing is you hit it with your fork or whatever until you get the size of meat that you want. I like my stuff a little bit thicker, so my pieces are a little bit bigger. But if you want it truly smashy, then what you do is you add a little bit of water and you continue heating it. Make sure that if you add water, you taste the thing when you mix it to make sure that it still tastes good. You might need a little bit of salt or more rub. But the thing is, if you want it more, you just add a little bit of water. Cook it for a tiny bit longer, maybe 3 or 4 more minutes, maybe 2 minutes, and heat it until the thing is kind of small, much smaller pieces. But I like my thing a little bit thick because I want to taste the meat. And this is done, by the way, so I'm going to turn it. When you start doing the canoe, after it's cooked, you just cut it. And open it. And then you add the meat. It's that simple. And then you add your cheese. Now, what a lot of people do is they put the American cheese or regular cheese, and then they put in the oven for like 7-8 minutes. I'm saving you 8 minutes here and making it healthier by adding a little bit of feta cheese. Healthier, tastes nice, and add that contrast taste. Doesn't have to be pretty, just have to be delicious.